Welcome, everybody, to the first show of Wipe Those Tears. Yes, it's the show where we put things in a grading system, tiers as they call it. And our special guests tonight are Mark Leota and Zach Dietrichs. And now, here is Jason DeCanio and David St. Dennis. Good evening to all of you, and welcome to this edition, the first show called Wipe Those Tears. Yes, and I am your host, Jason DeCanio, on this Wednesday, September 6th, 2023. Tonight, we have a fantastic show lined up for you, where we're going to grade NBA logos tonight. You've all heard of a tier list before. A tier list is something where you take a whole bunch of something and you grade it. You give it an A, you give it a B, you give it a C, a D, or an F, just like a report card. Well, tonight joining me are some fantastic guests from the game show community, from the David 3000 Network, and we've got them here to rate an interesting lineup of characters. Okay, first up is the man who was once on Blockbusters quite some time, and he's a big game show fan himself, and he retired as undefeated champion on Blockbusters. Let's welcome Mark Leota. How you doing, buddy?
I am doing good, Jason. How about yourself?
All right, fantastic. Well, welcome to this first show, and we hope that you're going to have a grand time with us here. Let me go ahead and introduce the next person who's on our list of great guests, as they say. I have with me Brandon Bogard. He is the host of The Plump Show and a whole bunch of other great stuff. So let's welcome Brandon Bogard to the lineup here. What's up, buddy?
Hello. Very happy to be here.
We welcome you to the show as well, too. And finally, my art director and head manager of the art department of the David 3000 Network. He's a very talented artist, and he is going to be with us tonight. Let's welcome Zach the Artist.
Hello.
All right. Gentlemen, welcome to the show, and here's how we do it. It's not really a game show, but it's more like we're going to grade 30 NBA logos from the teams. So if you're familiar with the NBA, great. If you're not, take it from an artistic point of view and look at the logos, and we're going to take each one. We're going to give it a score from 60 to 100. And we'll average out that score, and whatever score that logo gets will be going up on the A, B, C, D, or the F. All right? So in this case, not only look at it, but grade it for something different than what you see. Maybe you see something there you never saw before. The important thing is, let's go ahead and grade it, not based on our favorite logo, because wherever we are hometown-wise, that would be an easy way just to grade something, you know. Let's grade it on something a little more on a different scale, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and bring up the board right now. All right. Let's go ahead and add the board to the stage. There it is. And now you all see it real well?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, Mark, you can see it too? Good.
Yeah, I can see it well.
Okay, Zach, great. All right, Brandon, very good. All right, so the first logo tonight on our panel board here is the Philadelphia 76ers. As you can see, I'm going to go ahead and move this to the center of the screen. It's not getting a C right now, but it's just showing you that this is the logo that we're looking at. Let me go ahead and see if I can center it. I cannot center it. Okay. It's all right. But anyways, that's the logo we're looking at, the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, I'll go ahead and give the floor to Mark Leota first, and tell me what's kind of a score you give this this logo.
Okay, Philadelphia 76ers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, considering that it's it's definitely a classic logo. I mean, they had that logo, I think, like for years previously before they changed to something else in like the 90s. And then I think they went back to this look like recently a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So for being a classic logo, it is it's definitely one of the best of the classics. I would rate it a B.
Or what score would you give it? So about between 80 and 89. What's your exact score?
Yeah, let's give that one an 87.
87 for Mark Leota. Okay, we go now to Brandon Bogard with his observation of this logo.
Ooh, very classic indeed. So on a scale of 1 to 100.
Well, it's 50 to 100 because 50 is an F basically. So D is a 60, 70 is a C, B is an 80 is a B, and 90 and above is a A. So Mark gave it an 87, which is about a B, but of course we're averaging 4 people, so we're going to divide by 4 once we finish.
83. I'll go 83.
83, okay.
Yeah.
And now we go to Zach the artist for his rendition of this particular logo. Turn your mic on.
Oh, can you hear me now? That was weird. Okay,
Yep.
that was weird. Like I was saying, it's it's simple and it's a classic logo.
Mm-hmm.
It's to the point. I'm gonna say an A, 93.
93 for Zach. Okay. I look at this logo, gentlemen, and I see true classic 76ers. I mean, I think of 1776. I think of the Liberty Bell. I like the ring around the 7 or the little stars on top of that. And like Mark said before, the classic. I think they had this. I think you're right. They did have this one way back, and then they kind of went all new because everybody in the 90s was going different. But you're right. They probably brought it back because they figured the fans were going to probably vote it in. For me personally, for the look of it, I would give it about an 85 myself. Okay. So we have a score of 348. And we divide that by 4, and we get an average score of 87. So the Philadelphia 76ers will go into the B spot. Right there. Okay. Very good, gentlemen. Nicely done. Next up is the Washington Wizards. And we'll put that in the C1. This doesn't get a C yet, but that just puts it in the middle of this. I wish I could put it here, but I can't. All right. So this time we'll go to Brandon Bogard for his rendition of the Washington Wizards.
The top of the middle star does seem a little shorter.
Mm-hmm.
I would give this a 71 and leave it right where it is.
71 for Brandon Bogard. Okay. And now for Zach, what is your take on this one?
Well, the logo everything is center aligned. So the basketball's in the middle, the text, the Washington Wizards are in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
The colors are red, white, and black.
There's blue a little bit in there. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm colorblind, Jason.
Oh, I'm sorry. There's some blue on the bottom, some blue in the basketball where I'm pointing. So right in here and here is all blue actually in the background.
Yeah, I'm colorblind, so that's why.
Oh, you saw black. Okay, no problem. That's fine.
Yeah, the like I said, it's center aligned. Everything is in the center.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, it's patriotic colors. It's red, white, and blue, not black.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say 75 in the middle.
75. Okay, 75 for Zach. And now we go to Mark Leota for this one. What do you think, Mark?
Well, it's definitely not a logo that would blow anyone away by any means, but it's not terrible either.
Mm-hmm.
I will give that one a 72.
And Mark says 72. And just so you know, gentlemen, this used to be the Washington Bullets.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Bullets had the, so this is the newer logo for the Washington team, the Wizards, but they were the Bullets. If we had the Bullets up here, you would see something totally different. Okay, so this is a newer logo, and being it's a newer logo, and I actually like the Washington Bullets because I grew up with the Bullets. The Wizards came later in the 90s. Okay, I think right around the time that Jordan was just about to retire because he bought the Wizards at that time for a good amount of money. And so, of course, he was playing on the team as his last team before he officially retired from basketball. The logo itself, for me, very plain, very simple. Got the red, white, and blue. I myself actually give it a 69, really. I'm not really fond of it. And even if I was from Washington, I'd still say the Bullets the Bullets logo is a little bit better than this one. So I'm going to give it a 69. So we got a grand total of 287. We divide that by 4. We get an average score of 71.75, and that leaves it in the C bracket. All right, very good. And so, what do you think so far, gentlemen? You like the format of the show here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so far.
All right, next up is the Atlanta Hawks, as you can see right here. And this time we'll go to Zach the Artist for this one.
And Jason, this is a great game, and since I'm an artist, it can help with my critiquing skills and logo skills.
Sure.
So right now it's the Hawks, right, Jason?
Yes, right. This is it, the Atlanta Hawks, which is what I'm pointing to. It's here. It is in red with a Hawk logo, and it has Atlanta Hawks and basketball club on it. Do you want me to put it up against the black background for you? So okay, I'm going to put it in the D section.
Okay.
So that, if you put it up a little higher for you. Sorry about that. You tell me what you need to see it better, then we can do that.
All right. Thank you, Jason. It's got red and white, and it, red, because red and for color psychology means it's like, passion. It's like an emergency. It's urgent.
Mm-hmm.
And it's it's simple. I'm gonna say 78, a C.
78 for Zach the Artist. Okay, this time we go back to Mark Leota for this one.
Okay.
Atlanta Hawks.
The Hawks logo. Like honestly, like that logo, it kind of almost looks a bit like Pac-Man there in the middle.
oh yeah, I didn't realize that, Mark.
Yeah, the Hawk logo. Yeah, has a little. There's the that's for sure right here. The C here, the backward C looks like a Pac-Man. You're right. You can look at it in a different perspective. Mark, back up your cam a little bit. Back up from the cam. We can only see your eyes and want to see.
So I think I will give that one an 89.
89 for Mark Leota. Very good. All right. Now we go to Brandon Bogart for his take on the Atlanta Hawks.
So I'm going to be a little critical here.
Okay. Be as critical as you want. This is
so the outlining on the beak.
Yes.
Well, the red one is a bit pointier. The white side, it's like it's not matching up. I'm also kind of very disappointed as the fact that they added another on the bottom row. They added basketball club.
Basketball club. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I like the colors, but do this non-pointy thing with a beak and the basketball club lining. I'm gonna rate this 66.
66 for Brandon Bogart. Okay, and let's see. Going far back as the Hawks for me personally, with Dominique Wilkins and all those guys playing on the team and everything. This was the actual vintage logo for the Hawks. I don't think the Hawks logo has changed much over the years, and if it did, I think the fans stuck with this one. And to be very honest with you, it says a lot to it. I don't give it anything over a 90, but I would actually give it an 80. Really, I would give it an 80. That's my score on it. So I like the Hawks. I think they're a good team. Not that, but based on the color scheme and everything else, I do like the red coloring too. So, all right, 313 is what we've got for a total score amongst the four of us. Divide that by 4, and we get 78.25, and that qualifies for a C. All right, next up is the Cleveland Cavaliers, and we'll put this one up here so everybody can see it. So far, we've got 2 C's and a B, and this time we'll throw this Cleveland Cavaliers one to Mark Leota for his take first.
Okay, this is honestly like a bit of a tough one
Okay.
to judge. The Cavs logo, I mean, although it is kind of clever how like the sword thing or whatever is sticking right through the middle of the C.
Right, the dagger. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mind you, too, this is the newer logo, gentlemen. The old logo for the Cleveland Cavs had a CAVS with a basketball net in the C or on below it.
Yeah, I honestly like that logo much better than this one. I'll give this logo a 69.
69 for Mark Leota. Okay, now, Brandon, what do you think?
I have no idea why they would even call themselves the Cavaliers. That sword is real. That's kind of a little disturbing to me.
Okay. I can tell by your expression that you're not too happy with this logo either.
Yeah, this is a really, really low one, 54.
54. Whoa.
Ooh.
Brandon Bogart has spoken his mind.
Yeah.
All right, so now we go to Zach, and what would you like to tell us about the Cleveland Cavaliers logo?
Well, with the sword in the middle, looks like it reminds me of a Japanese samurai in the middle, like the sword. And with the logo, it looks like a military patch, like the Rangers or the Delta Force or Marines. It just reminds me of a military patch. And it's like it's like on the eyes, and it's just it just like pops out with the eyes, and you can see it. So I'm gonna say 82.
82 for Zach. A little bit of a difference of opinion between him and Brandon Bogart, but that's okay. That's totally fine. And who's coming in but David St. Dennis? Look at this. Thought you weren't going to make it there, my friend. All right. So with your 3 scores and now with my score here, I'm going to give you a little bit of an idea. I don't like this one at all. And I do agree with Brandon Bogart on this one. I don't like it at all. Because, as I mentioned before, this is the newer logo. Their older logo, again, had CAVS. Everyone else, F. Will you stop? Cypress is coming in here and starts commenting. No, we're not going to give everything an F. We're going to go by one. But the one I was telling you about with the Cavs and the basketball hoop, or the netting on it, was actually a better one. And this one they changed to, I don't know why they did it, but they stuck with it. I don't like it. Brandon Bogart and me can agree with that. I'm giving it a 60. I'm a little more,
69. Got it.
265 divided by 4 gives you a grand total of 66.25. That puts it in the D category.
And David, that was me that gave that a 69.
Mark was a little more forgiving on it, but Brandon Bogart basically showed why he doesn't like it, and that is totally fine with everybody in the room. You guys vote the way you want. No one's biased. No one's going to make fun of your vote here. We're all looking at the same logo pretty much, but at the same time, we're seeing different things and, voting in it and going the way we want to, and just go with your gut, Okay, gentlemen. Next up on the list is the Detroit Pistons, and I'll put this one here on the D column, even though it won't be a D, but so Zach can see it. The Detroit Pistons, beautiful logo indeed, and this time we're going to start with Brandon Bogard.
The colors on point.
Mm-hmm.
It is very simple. It looks outstanding. I like the simplicity. I even like the font.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give this 91.
91 from Brandon Bogard. That's an A right there. Okay, Zach, you are on deck.
Like what Brandon said, it's simple, and the simplicity of it. It's easy in the eyes, and it's red, white, and blue. It's patriotic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say 90.
What the?
What the hell was that?
40
Clovers.
It's in that. 95.
95 for Zach. All right. What is this?
David's.
That's for the Celtics people.
Will you stop it?
David.
What?
Folks, we are live, of course, and of course our CEO is being an airhead as always. All right, so we got a 91 and a 95. We go to Mark Leota for his take on the Detroit Pistons logo.
Much like the Hawks and Sixers logo it's definitely got a classic logo look to it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and plus, like the Sixers one, this is a logo that they've used pretty much the entire time they've been in the league, with maybe the exception of that one period where they were using like a horse type logo.
Yes, yeah, you're right about that. This is the classic logo. This is the first logo, and then they went to the horse, which kind of didn't last too long. Right, spot on about that.
Honestly, see, now after seeing like both of those logos,
Danny,
I have to say this logo,
what the hell are you guys talking about?
Logo is definitely much better than that horse one.
Okay.
Now, if you had like their horse logo on here, then I would have to give it a low rating. But since you're using the classic logo, this is getting a 97.
97 from Mark Leota.
Danny, where in the world are you?
Danny Lewis has invaded our show.
Just for a minute, hold on. I got two things to say here because we're at work right now.
Okay.
Two things. If you want to apply for a Walgreens credit card, that would be great. Because not only are you helping yourself get credit, you're also helping a Walgreens employee keep their job for another week, you know? And second, if you want to turn on Wheel of Fortune or Jeopardy, just turn on Channel 4 and watch one.
Yes.
Thanks for stopping by. McDonald's. There goes the copyright. Good night. Okay, so far.
Why is that a square box?
I don't know either. Why is he eating McNuggets anyways?
Yeah.
I've heard of chicken doodles before, but then again, Hey. All right, so far we've got high 90s from everybody, and I'm going to add to that right now because Mark was right about that. This is the classic logo, gentlemen. Like I said before, they started with this logo. They stuck with it. Like I said, they brought the horse in, and it totally went right. So with this one, and as much as I can't stand the Pistons, but I like them on any other given day because right now they're doing terribly sucky, and you got to have some feelings for them. 92 for me. It's our scrumptious.
Yes, the Nuggets are scrumptious.
Yep. Yes, they are.
All right.
Yeah, I was wondering why was it
This
in a square box and not its
usual.
usual.
Going to be the in the A ranking.
375 divided by 4 is a 93.75, and the Detroit Pistons go from the D to the A, and there you have it, the first A on the board.
All right, it only took 5 teams.
Yeah, but you guys are voting very good. I mean, this is a cross section of opinions here. You know what I mean? Not including David St. Dennis, who decided to come in just to watch, but he'll be back next week. He can always come on anytime he wants. But right now, I've got my 3 guys here, and we're looking now at the Indiana Pacers. Here, I'm going to bring it up to the D level so everybody can see it. And this time, we'll go with Zach and his take on the Indiana Pacers.
All right. Well, the P in the middle, the basketball, it looks like the basketball is like like holding a fist.
Yeah,
Um,
that's true.
yeah,
That's right.
yeah. It's about ready like to punch.
Yep.
And the like the P in the middle, it's center aligned, and the font is like curve
Mm-hmm.
for Indiana Pacers. This is simple,
Yep.
the simplicity of it. I'm gonna say 89.
89 for Zach. All right. And now back to Mark Leota for this one. And I'll take sports. Oh, God.
This isn't Jeopardy.
This is not Jeopardy.
Well, the logo itself,
Okay, Mark.
the logo itself, like the P in the middle there, that part of the logo, I'm pretty sure the Pacers have always had, but I don't know when they added like the circle with the Indiana Pacers text.
Uh-huh.
But nonetheless, I think I'm going to give this logo a 90.
A 90 for Mark Leota. All right. And now to Brandon Bogart for his take on the Indiana Pacers.
Before I give my grade, this is kind of weird. To go from the Detroit Pistons to the Indiana Pacers.
Yeah.
I just had
It's gone.
I just had a weird moment that happened in 2004 about a certain incident, but that's for another topic.
Oh, okay. All right.
So to put it simply, and everything that being said, I'm going to give this one 85.
85 for Brandon Bogart. Okay. My take on this Indiana Pacers logo, I like the P. I like the basketball. Kind of gives it that three-dimensional look. The colors of yellow and blue look more like the Los Angeles Lakers colors. I think they kind of copied off of it. But I think they always had that yellow and blue for a long time with the classic logo, Mark. I think you're right about that, too. Yes, I think this is the classic logo. I don't think they've ever changed any kind of logo on the Indiana Pacers over the course of the time that they've been in the NBA. I'm going to give this one an 88. Okay. So we have a grand total of 352. We divide that by 4, and we get a grand total of 88. So the Indiana Pacers go to the B column. All right. Nicely done there. Now let's look at an interesting logo with a deer on it, but not just a deer. We're talking about a buck. Milwaukee Bucks, that is. And this time we'll go back to Mark Leota for his take on the Milwaukee Bucks. Does this one stand out to you or not? Right? I mean, this one says, look at that dang buck in the headlights.
Yeah, it is kind of like a deer in the headlights. In fact, it kind of looks intimidating, the deer, doesn't it?
Right.
All right.
Brandon.
Although it does look like a pretty cool logo, though. I'll give it an 83.
All right. Mark Leota says 83. And Brandon Bogart, what would you like to say about the Milwaukee Bucks?
I am wishing that the colors were just a bit different. I guess I'm sort of okay with the dark green and such. I'll give this 79.
79 for Brandon Bogart. And now to Zach for his take on the Milwaukee Bucks.
All right. Well, with this logo, it's kind of like forest colors. Like what Brandon said, dark green. It's dark green, and is that brown in the middle?
Let me see. No, that is a little bit of a whitish, yellowish color.
So
And you're talking
sort
about
of like this, or
right in the middle here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's more yellowish color. The colors are green and yellow, almost like Boston Celtics is green and white. So in this case, this would be green and yellow because it looks like a pineapple color.
Yeah. Anyway, and thank you, Brandon and Jason. But yeah, it's kind of like you're in the forest and you see this deer. Also, with the eyes, it looks like it's in a horror movie. It looks like the eyes. It looks like a zombie buck.
I'm telling you, man, you just gotta come right out of it as a horror movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Jason, it kind of reminds me of like that deer is really upset. He kind of upset about Bambi, you know,
Yeah, there you go. You
right?
just
Oh,
keep going with your story. I love it. It's
Thank
great.
you. It just reminds me like he's about ready just to hurt people for killing Bambi's mom. Just saying.
Huh?
I'm gonna say 90.
90 for Zach. Wow. All right. Isn't that amazing? In that whole story, we went from a horror movie to a Disney fairy tale, you know?
Yeah.
And we went from Bambi to horror movie to, something else there. Okay. Milwaukee Bucks for me. I like the logo. I don't like the team. That has nothing to do with it. I can hate the team all I want. I hate the team. Can't stand them. Can't stand the guys on the team. But when we're talking about logos here, this logo says Milwaukee Bucks. It really does. For me, I mean, you can't get any more details. Although if you take the horns off of it, he looks more like a bear, doesn't he?
Yeah.
If you take the horns off, he would look more like the Milwaukee Bears than the Milwaukee Bucks. So they probably like photoshopped a bear and then put horns on him and make him look
Yeah.
like a buck, you know?
Exactly.
Photoshopped.
they must have photoshopped the Grizzlies.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Well, that's true in a way. When we get to the Grizzlies, we'll look at that. But let's focus on the topic here. If they photoshopped it there and it wasn't truly authentic, and said this was what a Bucks look like, I don't know about that. For me personally, I like the logo. I'm going to say 87. 87. All right. So we've got a grand total of 339. We divide that by 4 and we get 84.75. So it is a B for the Milwaukee Bucks.
I was gonna go with 87, like your answer, but I changed it to 90. So
Yeah. But it's still kind of averaged out
yeah.
to a high B. And that's where we go right now. And it's looking at the way it's kind of panning out here, the Bees have it. So far, you've averaged out some pretty good logos. Next up is the Toronto Raptors. Gentlemen, I'm going to put that over here for you. That's what it looks like. And this time we're going with Brandon Bogard for his take on the Toronto Raptors.
That little rip in the basketball said it all right there.
Yeah.
And it's all black, and it's wrapped around a red
Red border. Yeah.
border. That's what I was
Yep.
looking. Yeah,
Yeah.
wrapped around a red border.
Well, you
I
do
gotta
have
give this a 98.
98. Oh, all right. Brandon Bogard, 98 for him. And now we go to Zach for his take on this one. What do you think, bro? Oh,
All right.
clean your glasses. There you go.
Yep. Clean my glasses there.
Yep.
With the basketball, just like the basketball being ripped, like your eyes just going towards that. Because it's just like focus on that. And it looks like somebody just got really upset and just like ripped the basketball because they lost the game.
Right.
And the colors are simple, black, white, and red. And this time it's black, it's not blue.
Well, there's black, gray, and red in actually. It's actually gray is right around here. This is all gray. Actually.
Yeah.
So
But I'm saying, Jason, because which logo was it? The Wizards. I got confused and I thought it was black, but it was blue.
bottom there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, you're welcome, Jason. I am gonna say 88.
88 for Zach. Okay, and now we go to Mark Leota for his take on Toronto.
Yeah. Well, this logo actually kind of hits a bit home for me because it's my own team.
Oh yeah.
Oh! Okay, so remember what we said before at the top of the show. Hometown team, great. Now, the question is, what take do you take on this besides the fact that it's your home team?
Yeah. I mean, a part of me is tempted to give this logo a perfect 100 just because it's my team, but I got to be fair.
You got to be fair and just look at it as if you didn't even knew the team before and it wasn't your hometown team, what would you say artistic-wise from this point of the film?
I mean, it's kind of like it's trying to grab such a tight grip on the basketball there in the middle and not want to let go.
Right.
All right. I think I will give that logo a 9. No.
Don't be
No,
ashamed.
I'm not giving it a 9. I was trying to say
9? No, we don't. Anything above 50, nothing less than 50. Between 50 and
No.
100.
What I was trying to say is I'm going to give this one a 94.
94 from Mark Leota, because he realizes that from the artistic standpoint, 6 points gets deducted because of his own team. I like that, though. That's still a great score, Mark.
Yeah,
All right.
only been 4 years since we won it all, by the way.
That's true. That's right. And this is the original logo. I don't think they've ever changed logos since
Actually, that's not the original logo.
It is not the original logo. Okay.
Yeah, they started off like with a different logo, like when they first came into the league. Like I don't know.
I think they had a raptor on there, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Like with his teeth, like his tongue hanging out or something.
Yeah, they had the original logo for like the first 5 years or something, and then they changed it around. I don't exactly remember when they started using this particular logo, but it's still a pretty cool one, though.
It is, and from the looks of it, I do like the claws ripping the basketball to shreds a little bit. It looks like the basketball is just in the moment it starts deflating, but it's still holding its shape. You know what I mean? Like if they would have put a little air out that came out like a fart, like that, maybe something like that. Maybe we're like that.
like the kind of farts you give out if you've had a little too much soda.
or if you're gassing too much gas and it's like, you get that,
Yeah.
But still, it's a very good logo. I like the gray on the background of the black and the red border. It really stands out. I'm going to give it a 91. 91, yes. So we've got a grand total of 371. We divide that by 4, and we've got a grand total of 92.75, which means they go into the A column.
Wow. And what was it, Jason? The overall score?
92.75.
Wow.
You divide the 4 scores by it was 371 divided by 4.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're not rounding it up to 93. It's 92.75. That's the average score. And we all agree that it's an A logo. Very good, gentlemen. So far, so good. With a half hour left in our program, we still got logos to go. We're going to continue on. And here we go with the next one, the Dallas Mavericks. And as you can see from this logo, there is some interesting color schemes going on here. And this time I'm going to throw it to Mark Leota.
Okay, the Dallas Mavericks.
Yep.
See, now this is a logo where the horse is actually cool.
Right.
Because it's actually part of what this logo is supposed to represent.
Right.
I'll give this one an 83.
83 for Mark Leota. Okay, Brandon, what would you like to say about the Dallas Mavericks?
Well, I do like the design of the horse. At the same time, I don't know why it's a horse.
Well, it's Mavericks, I guess.
Yeah. At the same time, though, I don't think. Though I felt like it should be more of a plane.
Okay. Interesting
And
concept.
plus, well, I do like the colors. I'm not colors. I wouldn't say that it's. Say for Mavericks, Mavericks is supposed to be blue, so 67.
67 from Brandon Bogard. Wow, what a difference of opinion. And we now go to Zach for his take on the Dallas Mavericks.
Jason, every time I think of Maverick, I think of Top Gun.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. It's to me, it looks like an abstract horse with a ball, and looks like it's about ready just to hit you in the face with the basketball.
Well, I tell you, if you want to put it in that perspective, yeah, you could say that he looks pretty mean in that picture, though he's like a half black, half white horse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on. Go ahead.
I also like the blue basketball in the middle and the color scheme.
Mm-hmm.
And it's to me, it looks very abstract. I'm gonna say a 95.
95 for Zach. Wow. What a difference of opinion between the three of you guys. All right. So for me, Dallas Mavericks, a great team. Dirk Nowitzki was on that team for most of his time. He retired as a great player. I remember him well and how he was the master of the three-point shot. But the guy was overall around was a great player. But we're not talking about the players. But I remember these guys. That logo, I know that's got to be a newer logo because the Dallas Mavericks been around a long time. But I don't think they had this logo back in the days. So this is a fairly new 90s, 2000s, maybe 2010 logo that they've got right now, which is working fantastic for them. I don't think anybody in Dallas really cares about the logo. They just care about their team. But if we were looking at this logo from an artistic point of view, I would say about an 85 for myself. I'm going to give myself an 85. All right. We have a grand total of 330. We divide that by 4, and we get a grand total of 82.5. So the Dallas Mavericks are the 14th to become a B. Wow. But that was a big difference, a huge difference of opinion from all three of you, and I was impressed with all of you take on the logo. Fantastic. Great going. Denver Nuggets is up next, gentlemen, and this one we'll start off with Brandon Bogard. Take a look at that one and let me know what you think. Brandon Bogard.
I don't know if these are two axes.
Yes, they're two pickaxes. Yes, with it looks like an arrow, and like the basketball is actually on the bottom here.
The reigning NBA champion Denver Nuggets, by the way.
Oh yes, that's very true. You're right about that. Yes.
With a name like the Denver Nuggets, I might be taking this a little too seriously, and the mountain being this cut off at the very top also in the center.
Oh yeah, you're right about that. I thought that was an arrow. But no, from your perspective, my friend, that's pretty good observation. Very good.
So I'm gonna be really low. I'm gonna give this 55.
55. He's actually giving it a failing mark, but that's okay. We'll see what happens. Zach, you're up.
Oh, and this is my favorite team.
Okay.
To me, it looks like a person's climbing up a mountain to get like a sacred basketball.
I like that observation.
Thank you.
Right.
And it's like, it's like all over the place in the middle because you got the two pickaxes in the mountain, and like you, Jason, I thought it was an arrow at first.
Yeah.
And it's all over the board, and I'm gonna rate this 90.
90. Look at that. Once again, a difference of opinion between Brandon Bogard and Zach. And now, Mr. Mark Leota, with your take on the Denver Nuggets.
Okay. Denver Nuggets. Kind of almost like if you're searching for gold there with the way that the logo's designed.
The whole idea of it was the gold rush of Denver, I guess.
Yeah, it actually does kind of resemble Gold Rush. Not to confuse this with another show that Kevin Henry does.
That's true.
Anyway, I will give this an 80.
80 for Mark Leota. Okay. All right. So from what I see, and your observations are fantastic. All three of you got some great, you picked out some different things in there. The pickaxes definitely stick out. But like I said, I thought this was an arrow. I really did.
Me too.
And the basketball is down here on the bottom. I would have liked to see basketball somewhere in these areas here, but then they would have been really tiny, microscopic basketballs because you're not able to have the room to see them. So pixel-wise, you probably would, that one finger that's sticking on the pointer there would be the size of the basketball if there was basketballs all around it. Other than that, the color scheme is great. I like the yellow with the blue and the white. and from what I see, I think it's also a yellow outside border. Anybody can tell me if I'm wrong on that?
No, you're not wrong, Jason. It is.
It's a yellow back. It's a yellow
Yeah.
border. Okay, very good. Yeah, I like the fact that it's gold, and it's a golden yellow color, so it's not like your traditional yellow. So you're emphasizing the golden Denver Nuggets in this case, or as I like to call them, the chicken McNuggets. You know, the McNuggets. I don't think
Yeah, I
that.
was thinking that too.
No, but Brandon would be like, "Yes, I'm right up there with him." For me, I'm going to say 77.
Hey, Jason, where's Danny? Because he had all those chicken nuggets.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, so we got a grand total of 302. We divide that by 4, and we come up with a composite score, average 75.5. So the Denver Nuggets go to the C level, the C tier. And that's what we call the tier, you know? All right, so next up on our list is the Memphis Grizzlies. And, you know, I think one of you guys mentioned that it looked like the bear was photoshopped, right?
Yeah, I think it was Brandon, if not Mark.
All right.
That was great.
Yeah, that was Brandon.
Yeah, but in this case, we're going to start off with you, Zach, for your first take on the Memphis Grizzlies.
Well, Jason, that bear looks so grumpy. It looks like he got woken up while hibernating.
Yeah, that's true. I never saw a more bluer grizzly bear in my life, but then again, you know.
Yeah, and also he's like looking at you, Jason, like, okay, get out of my cave. Just leave.
That's true.
It's kind of interesting, everybody, that it's like it looks like a gradient, like, you know, on the left to right, it looks like a gradient. With the face and the eyes are yellow. I'm gonna rate this 93.
93 for Zach. All right. Mr. Leota, what do you have to say about the Memphis Grizzlies?
Okay, well, first off, fun fact, that team actually used to be the Vancouver Grizzlies.
That's right.
Yeah,
So-
from 1995 to 2001.
Exactly. So this is a newer logo because then they moved to Memphis later on. Yep, you're right about that. Very good observation.
Let's see. Yeah, it's kind of like, where's my honey?
Right?
Yeah, right.
Hey, the Grizzlies. First off, I'm gonna give this logo a 78, and second, that bear in the logo. If you want some honey, go ask them for Winnie the ask for some from Winnie the Pooh. He'll be more than happy to share.
All right, so Mark gives it a 78, and now we go to Brandon Bogard.
So I like the color. It's kind of a bluish, whitish, with a bit of dark.
Yeah.
Almost as if you're in the lighter nighttime.
Mm-hmm.
I love half of that is a shadow. It's almost as if I'm coming from out of the shadows. I'm coming for you.
Right.
I give this an 89.
89 for Brandon Bogard. Okay. And now for my take on this interesting logo. I like the Memphis Grizzlies, but I tell you, you're right about it. I like them more when they were in Vancouver, you know? So the newer logo really kind of just let me down a lot. And whoever heard of a blue bear before?
Right?
What the heck, man? Grizzly bears are brown. You know, so if the color of the bear was brown with maybe some, you know, deeper, darker black eyes, that would get me more like, I'm going to fear this creature, you know? And the brown could, you know, like you said, it could foreshadow where it was totally black on this side and brown on this side. So if it was like a half black, half brown, you know, that would actually give me some color contrast so I could decipher which side I would want to run and go the other way if that was the case. But I don't like this at all. So I'm going to give it a 52. 52, yes, because I'm giving it a failing grade. I don't like the blue bear at all. it was a polar bear, it'd be okay because you know you can do blue and white. 312 divided by 4 puts it at 76. Wow. So the Grizzlies get a C. All right. So there goes the C. And next up on the list is the Minnesota Timberwolves. And this time we now go to Brandon Bogart for his take on the Minnesota Timberwolves.
I do like that there on the basketball there is a bit of a star there.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow!
And there's like the wolf is kind of giving a bit of a howl there. Also, I'll give this 77.
77 for Brandon Bogart, and now we go to Zach for his take on the Minnesota Timberwolves.
And Brandon, they point out that star in the middle. I didn't see that. It looks like it's a spider in the middle, and with the wolf howling, it just reminds me of the wolf howling in the nighttime, to attract other wolves. I'm also gonna say it's like my eyes are just focusing on that timber wolf. I'm gonna say an 88.
88 for Zach. Okay, Mark Leota, what would you like to say about this Minnesota Timberwolf?
Okay, the Minnesota Timberwolf. Kind of like wolf looks like it's kind of howling a bit toward the moon.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you guys have like the same observations, which is interesting. I like that. And the sound effects to go with it too. Why not?
Okay, I'll say 81 for that one.
81 for Mark Leota. Okay. Well, you know, I tell you, I like the Minnesota Timberwolves. I really do. They're a really good team, very hard-fought team. Again, you know, you're looking at a team that just speaks their logo. I like the fact that the wolf is in a position where he's saying, "Don't mess with me." You know, and I like the Minnesota the white border on the blue background a little bit. You know, I'm telling you, they use a lot of blues in the logos. Have you noticed? I mean, we do have the red, white, and blue for the American team, but in this case, they sometimes tend to use that blue. But in this case, the blue is a very soft blue in where the basketball is. I wish they had a little more whiter color on the Wolves' white spot here. So I'm kind of disappointed that was not kind of highlighted or that didn't stand out. And I would have liked to see him go wow in like a cloud, like a cartoon, you know, or so like smoke coming out of his mouth like on a cold day. I'm going to give this one 74. 74. All right. We have a total of 320, so that means it's a big 80 there, and that's a B. So Minnesota goes into the B tier. Wow. Look
a lot
at
of Bs.
You guys are really putting some good pressure on some of the more interesting teams, but we haven't even gotten to the meat and bones yet of where we are so far. And next up is the San Antonio Spurs. Now this one is a little bit cut off. You can see where the S and the O are, and you can see it's per, but that's Spurs. That's supposed to be a Spur. But the emphasis is on the whatever you call that thing that they wear on the back part of their boot. Does anybody know? The spur.
Yep.
Oh. Duh! All right, Mr. Bogart, you're up first with the San Antonio Spurs.
If that's supposed to be a spur, well, okay. At the same time, something is way off with this logo. I think maybe it's trying to be like the top of a circle, but that backfired shape. And really, the spur, it's now looking like it's representing more of the NFL than the NBA.
Yeah, you're right about that in a way. Yeah.
I gotta give this a 51.
51 for Brandon Bogart, and now we go to Zach the Artist for this one.
To me, it looks like a magnet. In the middle.
Right?
Yeah, everything's all magnetized. Oh, and with that glitch, the purr looks like it was designed by a cat. Just saying, purr.
Yeah, per, right?
Yeah.
I don't
Um,
think the person who had the emphasis on trying to fit it into that small box realized that he got cut off by the two S's.
yeah.
So,
um,
yeah.
I'm gonna say 65.
65 for Zach. And now Mark Leota with the San Antonio Spurs.
Kind of basic, really, through that one. 53.
Whoa, 53. Oh, boy. And I don't like the Spurs at all very much. Can't stand them team-wise. If the logo was more the way it was supposed to be to fit in that box, yeah, I could say that. So in this case, considering it got a lot cut off and you're only on emphasis on the Spur itself, I'm going to say 59.
Yeah.
59. So with 228, and we divide that by 4, we get an average score of 57.
Yep. In the words of Unfair Odd Parents, F.
Or as the late David Downs would say, a super F.
Yep.
Let's
that's
see
right.
how you'll fare in this class with an F. F. All right. So that's
F tier.
F
Sorry.
on board. Okay, gentlemen, we now go to the Utah Jazz. Now, as you can see, I'll give you a little cut off there. The A and the H was supposed to be there, and a little more of the Z and the basketball. So this time we'll start with Zach the Artist with the Utah Jazz.
Oh, thank you, Jason. Well, with the J, it looks like the ball is a saxophone.
Okay, that's the emphasis of. They used to be the St. Louis Blue Jazz, but then they moved to Utah, so that is a note, a musical note. But yeah, you're right. The J, yeah. But in your case, if it looks like a saxophone, hey, great. There's jazz saxophone. There you go.
Yeah, makes sense. And it's simple, and like you said, it's like jazz, and it's all bluesy.
Mhm.
And now that you mentioned, Jason, like a lot of the colors, like for these logos, have blue as their default color.
Yeah.
I'm gonna rate this a 75.
75 for Zach. Okay. Mark Leota, what would you like to say about the Utah Jazz?
Okay, so Utah Jazz, it's an okay logo there.
Yeah.
Not really anything too snazzy.
Mm-hmm.
Let's give that one a 71.
71 for Mark. And now we go to Brandon Bogard for his take on the Utah Jazz.
I was a bit torn at first with this one because I thought, what's with the hockey stick?
Right? You're thinking the St. Louis Blues, and you are all right to say that. That's totally legit because yes, St. Louis Blues is still the St. Louis Blues hockey team. It's still there. They haven't moved. They haven't changed anything. But you're right about the hockey stick. I mean, it does look like a hockey stick, right? The J. So we've got a difference of opinion between a saxophone and a hockey stick.
As soon as I figured that when you said the name, it's called the Jazz.
Utah Jazz.
I mean, immediately my vote was changed. And I guess now that it's appropriate name, it actually seems more like a basketball combined with a music note. I want to change, and also for its simplicity, I'll give this a 76.
76 for Brandon Bogard. All right. And now, well, I tell you, my mic went out for a minute there. Sorry about that. The Jazz, let's put it this way, guys. They should have stayed in St. Louis. Okay, Jazz in St. Louis, they could have called themselves New Orleans Jazz, but again, that's taken by the Pelicans. There's a big, huge story debacle between the Charlotte Hornets and the New Orleans Pelicans, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But the Jazz, I don't think never should have went to Utah. I don't know why Utah deserves that kind of a team to be even called the Jazz. I don't even know if they have Jazz in Utah, for that matter. Overall, the logo looks a little lackluster, and again, there's that blue again, but this is like a dark blue, so it's not kind of like getting your attention. It's not getting my attention. I'm going to say 56. All right. So with that, we have 278. We divide that by 4. We get an average score of 69.5.
Right
That
there.
sit in the D section. Wow. All right. Next up is the Los Angeles Clippers. Now, this is the sister team to the LA Lakers. They play in the same arena. So they had to. So in other words, they had to change out the Lakers, basketball court and put in the Clippers court. So no, unless they're playing each other, then they're still playing the home team or whoever's court. They still have to change that. So we will start this time with Mark Leota. And of course, the Clippers is cut off. So the C, there is supposed to be a C there, and but this is the logo that they play with on the basketball court right up here.
Okay, the Los Angeles Clippers.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty decent logo.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they're like trying to have it be similar to the Lakers logo, but just with a slightly different design or what. Like, I can't really tell what they're going for here.
Yeah.
Ugh. I'll give that one a 78.
78 for Mark Leota. Okay, Brandon, what would you like to say about the Clippers?
I mean, I guess the black one. It's fine. It's fine, but that ball doesn't look like a basketball. Looks like less being representative of the NBA, more representing of the MLB. With that, I'm gonna give this a 60.
60 for Brandon Bogard. And now we go to Zach for his take on the Clippers.
With that glitch, Jason, looks like it's in the lippers.
That's true. You're right about that. Yep.
Bunch of lips. Anyway, and plus, what you say, Jason?
No, I said no. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. In the middle of that, it looks like it's like a scope. You know what I mean? Like a gun or a like a scope in the middle.
Yeah.
Or like in Star Trek. It's very simple to the point. There's a lot of curvy lines. 72.
72. Okay. Can one of you guys message David and let him know that we're still doing this beyond the hour? I have the full screen and can't stop in the message here. So if one of you be more kind to just Facebook him and say, hey, yeah, we're still going. All right. So you gave it a 72, right, Zach?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So I am up now. I like the Clippers. Really do. Shows you how much I can't stand the Lakers, so I go with the opposite team. The Clippers have really shown themselves as a team worthy of playing and beating the Lakers at any given time. As for their logo, I think they need to change it. This is disgusting. I mean, if there was a full C with the Clippers and we weren't having the lippers like you were saying before, right?
Yeah.
It looks like it's pink, not red. If it was much redder in the areas where it was red, this looks like it's pink here. Like you said, where is it going? It's like I don't think I see. This is the first time I've seen pink in a logo, other than what Sacramento has when we come up to them. But yeah, it just looks pinkish to me there. I'm a little disappointed with their logo, so I'm going to give it a 66. All right. So we have a grand total of 276. We divide that by 4 for a cumulative average of 69. It stays in the D section. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Zach, for PMing David. All right.
Oh, so did I, and David just responded, "Oh, LOL."
Okay.
Yeah, same here for me too, Brandon.
All right. We still got how many logos left? 4, 8, 12, 15 logos left.
Yep.
Gentlemen. So we're gonna take our time on it. No rush. We're good on time. We just hit the 1 hour mark.
And Jason, I was talking to David, and you were saying about the lippers, and like pink.
Yeah, I know it's one of those things that I'm just disappointed. If they would have put the C on it and maybe spread it out a little bit, yeah. All right, so moving on here, we go now to the Phoenix Suns. Whoops, let me go ahead and put that up there for you to see. And this time we'll start with Mark Leota.
Well, I don't really think that they've actually changed that logo too much. I mean, all those rays of sunlight coming up in the basketball, give it a very nice touch. 86.
86 for Mark Leota. All right, Brandon Bogard, what do you have to say about the Phoenix Suns?
It is pretty simple. It is pretty simple, and I wish it wasn't actually black. I wish it was a bit blue. But
The blue, okay.
this isn't really so bad. I'm gonna get this 78.
78 for Brandon Bogard. And now, Zach.
All right. Well, with that basketball, it looks like someone's just throwing the basketball in the sun and it's melting.
Mm-hmm.
And plus it's Phoenix. It's probably high. Too.
Yeah.
This is very simple, and it kind of reminds me of that sun in Super Mario Brothers 3. You know, that angry sun that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Desert, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good observation.
Look at Brandon's face, like what?
I didn't even play the game, so I would not
Mario 3, where the sun goes up and comes down and then tries to attack Mario, and then all you gotta do is like turtle shell and
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, it's really creepy.
Oh my god, it just hit me. I remember that from Mario Maker. I don't remember that from Mario 3.
Yeah, it's got creepy eyes. Anyway, it's very simple. I'm gonna rate this 85.
85 for Zach. Okay. I like the Phoenix Suns, and this logo really stands out. I mean, it just says, how far can you shoot the basketball into the sun? You know, how far can you throw it before the basketball explodes? I like the black on the background, like the orange color, like the golden sun, and the white on there. So in this case, I'm going to give it 97.
Not bad. Not bad, Jason.
97, yes. I'm a little bit on the, not 100, but yes. Now we divide that by 4, 346, 86 and a half. That gives it a B. Nicely done for the Phoenix Suns. They go up to the B tier. Okay, let's look now at the Portland Trailblazers. I'll put this up here on the C tier, but as you can see, the P and the D are cut off. So it looks like the Ortland Trailblazers. But it's the Portland Trailblazers. And we start off with Brandon Bogard with this one.
Trail Blazers.
Portland Trailblazers. Yes. Portland, Oregon. Brandon Martin's hometown, by the way.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. You know what, he would vote this one in if he was gonna,
I have no idea why this shape is connected like this.
Oh, you know what? Well, I think it could represent 69, which could mean the year that they came into the league, possibly. Although I would have thinking a 69 would be kind of a little bit more explicit. And we're keeping this G rated. But yeah, you got to point us to why the shape. But go ahead, continue on.
I
Like it drained it in his head that it was not supposed to be.
He has like an inappropriate thought just thinking of.
Poor guy is just like, I don't know.
well, it's not an inappropriate thing.
Oh.
That's gonna come later for one of the other logos.
Yeah. Possibly.
But unfortunately, I got to give this a 56.
56. Wow.
Just for that shape.
All right. So now we go to Zach the Artist for his take on the Portland Trailblazers.
Let's see here. It's red and white in the middle.
Yep.
Let's see. Wow. It's like Japanese colors in the middle. Plus, like you said, the 6 and the 9. Also, it's like looks like it's the shape in the middle is repeating infinitely in a never-ending loop. I'm gonna rate this 69.
69. Wow. Okay, Mark Leota, you're up to bat with the Portland or the Ortland Trailblazers. Since the P and the
Okay, Portland Trailblazers.
Yep.
Yeah, I think really the only part of this logo that's changed over the years, like, is the Portland Trailblazers text itself. Like, the actual logo itself, I think, has always been the same.
yeah,
And it's nice when teams actually keep logos the same instead of like trying to give them makeovers that nobody recognizes.
right.
So I will give this logo an 82.
82. Interesting. Okay. Very much a difference of opinion amongst the three years. I've always liked the Portland Trailblazers from the time that they started and loved their logo. It's a great logo. It's like you said, it stayed the course of time. I think Portland really said, this is our logo. We're not going to change it. Don't ever change it. Keep it the way it is. If they would have put the Portland or the P and the D on there just to kind of fit the whole thing in there, it would probably be perfect. The only thing that was giving me not 100 on it was the fact that the P and the D were cut off. So you lose points from me on that one. So I'm going to say 96. Oh,
Wow.
96 with a difference of opinion. 303 is what we have. And that puts it at 75.75. So that is going to keep it in the C tier. We went from D's and F's to A's and B's and still averaged out to a C on that one. But now we go to the Sacramento Kings. And this is an interesting logo.
I wonder if people are going to be looking at this like, oh, they stole from LA.
All right. Well, first off on the deck is Zach the artist on this one.
It kind of reminds me of, don't know why, but it just looks like it's got a pyramid and looks like it's in Egypt.
Yeah.
Or if you're a conspiracy theorist, you're going to say Illuminati confirmed, but just saying. How to get that out there?
Yeah.
And it's purple and white.
Yep.
And it kind of looks like in the middle, Jason. Looks like you got a pyramid. Looks like it also looks like a curved chimney.
Okay.
Yeah. And with the great basketball, looks like there's like different paths that you can choose.
Oh, okay. So he's looking at. Oh, I see what you're talking about. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
But the name sounds confusing. Keen's like you would think like there'd be a crown in there for.
Well, and this is what I was going to say is that the upper part of that does look like a crown, the Sacramento part.
Yeah.
But since your take looks like more like apartment buildings with a slanted chimney, maybe I'm thinking Sacramento was like halfway this way or halfway this way.
Right?
So what's your score on this one?
Wow. And okay, I see it now, Jason. I do see the crown. I'm gonna rate this 92.
92 for Zach. Very good score. And Mark Leota for the Sacramento Kings. What shall you say?
I shall say 76.
76. And why? Any reason or just when you think 76, it just comes to mind,
It's just literally the first number that just came into my mind.
Okay, 76 for Mark Leota, and now we go to Brandon Bogard for his take on the Sacramento Kings logo.
So, not every crown has to be that perfect. It doesn't have to. There's no like set of no. The crown has to be this. Yeah. There's none of that. So the way the crown is for this, I'm perfectly okay with. Okay. I look like the little white lines like that are that were at least I thought were covering like part of it. Oh shoot! I wish I had like my mouse up so I can give an example.
Where you talking about like the white letters?
Higher.
Oh, right here. You mean?
Yeah.
Ground points. Yeah.
Yeah, but that didn't really ruin it for me. Okay. So with that, plus that nice gray basketball down below. 94.
94 for Brandon Bogart. Okay. Well, and I see the crown too, but when I first looked at this logo, and I like the Kings, by the way, when I looked at the logo, I thought it looked like two ships going all across the sea or something, with the points of look like tugboats, just like, but the purple for me, and they do have purple on their jerseys. The purple for me just doesn't do it. If you was another team and you could do it, yeah. I mean, but Sacramento and the Kings in purple just don't mix with me. Other than that, the logo looks fantastic. Minus the purple, I would give it an 87. Okay, we have a grand total of 349. We divide that by 4 for a cumulative average of 87.25, and that puts them in the B tier. Look at that. I was a little lenient on that for sake purposes, but that's okay. All right, New York Knicks, gentlemen, look at this. Very good. This is the next logo on the board, and we start this time with Zach the Artist.
All right. It's very basic, and it's a classic logo. Because everybody knows about the Knicks logo, and very simple. It looks kind of like retro-ish, like it's very retro.
Yeah.
And the Knicks, they're it's in your face, with the thank you, with the Knicks. It looks like it's got a 70s font, looks like it was made in the 70s.
Right.
I'm gonna say 98.
98 for Zach the Artist, and now to Mark Leota for his take on the New York Knicks.
Okay. Yeah, definitely a basic logo. Mm-hmm. And it's honestly one that doesn't really need to be changed, in my opinion.
Right.
So yeah, I will give that one an 88.
88 for Mark Leota. Brandon Bogart, your take on the Knicks.
So people are never heard of the New York Knicks. They're probably gonna think, what is a Knick? It's hard to even say what it is, but like Zach said, it is very basic, very retro.
Thank you.
For that, I'm almost kind of on the same field as Mark. I'm gonna go with 87.
87 for Brandon Bogart. Now, the New York Knicks is supposed to be my team because I'm from New York, but it is not my team. I'll tell you why when we get to the Brooklyn Nets in a little bit here. There's a story behind that, too. There's a story behind every one of them, pretty much. But the Knicks logo has not changed. Mark is right, spot on. The logo has not changed. This is the original logo from when they started. They do have orange and blue in their color schemes and on their jerseys. So, yes, everything is a 70s look to this team. They are actually called the New York Knickerbockers. Look up what a Knickerbocker is. If you don't even know what a Knickerbocker is, don't worry about it, because only a New Yorker would know what a Knickerbocker is. But they play out in Madison Square Garden in Manhattan, in the heart of Manhattan, where they've been since day one. Okay, so you're looking at a team that's been there, never moved, and never changed their name. They stayed the same, and their fans love them. So with this logo, as much as I can't stand the Knicks, I like the way that like I said, we're not basing this on the team. I like the logo, and I'm going to give it 100. 100 for that logo, because
yeah, that's the first 100 that we've had.
I did, yeah, and again, I did. And you see that I did not base it on the fact that I told you I hate the Knicks that much, but if you're looking at just the logo, that is a true NBA logo. And we have a total of 373 divided by 4 for a grand total of 93.25, gentlemen, and it gets an A. It goes into the A tier as only the third A in this list of of logos here. Wow.
Whew.
Okay, so now we're really getting to the nitty gritty here. Let me fix this a little bit so we can get the rest of the logos in. I don't want to cut the New York Knicks off. Okay, there we go. All right, up next is the New Orleans Pelicans. Let me give you a little background. Hold on a minute. Let me give you a little background about the New Orleans Pelicans before you guys give it your vote here. The New Orleans Pelicans was not the Pelicans when they first started. They were the Hornets.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, but then they became the Charlotte Hornets. But then the Charlotte Hornets were lost, and then they went to New Orleans. Then they went back to Charlotte. So after they left New Orleans, the New Orleans team still needed a name. So who did they choose? The Pelicans. I really think, God, really? But anyways, that's the story of what had happened. And the Charlotte Hornets got back. The Charlotte team got the Hornets name back through negotiations and all that other stuff. So that's the story of it. But here we are with the New Orleans Hornets. Or not them, not the Hornets. I wish I see that kind of just throws the brain off a little bit. New Orleans Pelicans. Mark Leota, we'll start with you with this one.
Okay, Pelicans. Yeah, the Pelican definitely looks like it's kind of taking off like with the basketball in its hand.
Or in its beak.
Yeah.
Beak looks like it's right
That's what makes it so cool.
here, right? Is that it's like right on the top part of that red part right there is the beak, and it's like, can a pelican hold a basketball in its beak? I guess it can if it can hold 20 fish.
All right, 91. I'll give that one.
91?
Yeah, 91.
91 for Mark Leota. Very good. All right, Brandon Bogard.
On one, I'll say this: I actually am glad that they chose the Pelicans. I can't even imagine they would stick with Hornets. Yikes.
Yeah.
Here though, this one looks a little all over the place, a little random.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give this 74.
74 for Brandon Bogard. Okay, and now Zach, your take on the New Orleans Pelicans.
Well, we're talking about the Pelican in the middle of the basketball. He's just like guarding that basketball. Like, no, you can't have it. It's mine.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he just looks so angry. Like, don't even try. Don't even start.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like what Brandon said, it's all over the board. It's just it's hard on the eyes to see because you're trying to focus on this Pelican, but it's all over. Your eyes move all over.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna rate this 89.
89 for Zach. All right. I like I said, I don't agree with the fact that they became the Pelicans after they left. Because they had the Hornets in New Orleans. I think they could have chosen a better animal or something that was related to New Orleans, like maybe the New Orleans Jambalayans or some kind of named after the food, or the New Orleans Mardi Gras or the Mardi Gras or the Gras. Pelican? Where the heck does a pelican have to do with New Orleans? and what strikes me about this pelican is it looks like he's got a golf ball on top of it for a head. Does that look like a golf ball to you?
No.
The white part of his head from his beak. You see his beak, but you see that the circle, it looks like a golf ball of his head. To me, that looks like a golf ball. It looks like a tee in a golf ball. And it looks like you could tee you off with a basketball. You gotta, so it's like the point of the tee is deflating the basketball and somebody wants to go 4. I don't like the logo at all. I think it's just I just don't think New Orleans fits the Pelicans' repertoire. So I am going to give it a fat 62.
Are you good over there, Brandon? You're just laughing about something. You good?
He's trying to hold back something.
You sure it looks like a golf ball?
From my angle, it looks like a golf ball. And
I'm seeing like a line on the center of that white thing.
All I could say is it looks like a golf ball on a tee, and it's deflating the basketball. and it's got a pair of wings. It looks like a golf tee with a pair of wings. That's like, really? That ain't no pelican. That looks more like a one of those long, what do they call it? Flying insects, not the hornets, but kind of like one that has a long tip of its, like, tasting thing.
Mosquito.
Mosquito.
Okay.
It could be the New Orleans mosquitoes for all we could. They would have looked like it would have been fine.
Okay, well,
It's
that
62.
cleared my dirty mind. Thank you.
Yeah, I give it a 62, and we have a 316 for a total. Divide that by 4, and we get a fat 79, so it stays in the C tier. Wow. That's amazing. Okay, we are now up to the Charlotte Hornets. And gentlemen, I told you the story about this, so we will start this time with Brandon Bogart.
I don't know if this says anything basketball. I do like the dark aqua colors there. So
Mm-hmm. There is some purple in there, mind you, if you look very closely.
yeah,
Zach,
maybe.
yeah, Zach, I'll tell you right now, there is some purple in it because they do have purple and green in their colors. So the blue is more like a greenish blue. But on this screen, it could be more of a turquoise blue. You really have to look at it.
I'll go with just to be a little fair, 69.
69.
Yeah.
Okay, for Brandon Bogart and Zach. Now that you had a chance to really study it, what do you think?
Well, looks really interesting. Hornet. I've never seen a blue hornet before. And Jason, if it's blue, is he a water hornet?
I couldn't tell you. I think he's just your average everyday basketball hornet. Could be named after the Green Hornet, from the TV show. So they, like I said, there was some bluish green, more to the green side of the blue than the blue itself. But from this angle, it looks more bluish blue. But there is supposed to be some green in it. So I think they got rid of the green, and this is their newer logo when they went back to Charlotte.
Yeah. My color blindness is kicking in really bad. With this, I am gonna say 80, exactly 80.
80 for you, okay. And Mark Leota, what do you have to say about the Charlotte Hornets?
Down at the bottom, it kind of almost looks like, I'm gonna sting you if you take the ball away from me.
What is that, Mark?
Yeah.
Okay, 73.
73 for Mark Leota. Okay. I was, like I said before, I liked the original Charlotte Hornets logo with the more to the greenish side. I didn't appreciate the fact that they went to New Orleans and stayed the Hornets, and then they went back to Charlotte and finally realized we should have never left in the first place. Duh. But glad they got back there. But then they changed, like I said, you changed the color of the Hornet to a more bluish blue instead of getting some more green in there, and you lose me because your colors are supposed to be green, a greenish blue with some white. So in this case, glad they got back the logo. Sucky that they pretty much decided to go with a more to the bluish side. I'm going to give it 82.
Greenish blue. That is considered aqua, right?
Yeah, but I'm talking like more to the green, like emerald green, but it was more to the greenish side. I even have a jersey that looks like the old Charlotte Hornets. I can show you at a later time, Zach. Okay, we got 304. We divide that by 4, and we get 76. So that stays in the C tier. All right. So far the B's and the C's have it. And now we go to the Houston Rockets. Well, actually, it's the Houston Rockets. But in this case, it's Stone Rock.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That's right. Okay, Zach, you're up for this one for the Houston Rockets. So concentrate more on the R and the ring and the rock. The fact that it looks like a rocket, that it's reddish and there's a white background on it.
Yeah, it's got looks like the Japanese flag. Runs the Japanese flag, red and white.
Yeah.
Also, it looks like reminds me like a metal band. Rocket. Reminds me of a death metal band.
Yeah.
It's very simple to the point. I'm gonna say 90, 94.
94 for Zach. All right. Mark Leota, you're up with the Houston Rockets.
Okay. Well, kind of almost looks like it's ready for blast off.
Yeah, right?
Yep.
Kind of an exciting takeoff. A 3, 2, 1 and blast off. Yeah.
Yep. I would probably say, I'd probably say 84 for that one.
84. Okay, for Mark Leota. And now to Brandon Bogard for his take on the Houston Rockets.
Even though I can't see the full thing Rockets, now that I'm
Right.
looking at Rock, I do like the way the R is set. I mean, I don't see the Rockets. I see like how how Rock is kind of supposed to be represented.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sorry, there's like animals outside my window. Oh my gosh. I'm actually gonna go with an 88.
88 for Brandon Bogard. Okay. As much as I can say, this logo has been unchanged. I don't think they ever changed their logo in the time that they've been with the NBA. I don't particularly like the Rockets. It's just my take on it, but I like the fact that the R looks like it's ready to go blast off. I don't know what the significance of the ring around the R represents. I'm not sure if that's something significant to Houston or something. I could understand if it was, if it was the Dallas Rockets, you'd have stars all over the place. But what is it? Something with Houston that has rings synonymous with it? Because if you look at it very carefully, what does this ring represent? This circle? Maybe it's the hoop. I would have liked to see some netting in the bottom of this here, just to indicate that it looked like a hoop. So maybe the R is going through the hoop after it's come back from the landing. Maybe it's taking off up, when you throw a basketball up the opposite way. It's possible it could be that. It's just giving me mixed decisions on it. So I'm going to say 75 because I just think it's average and it's just sitting there and it doesn't know if it's going up or down. We got a total of 341 for this one. So we divide that by 4 and we get 85.25 and it goes to the B tier. Look at that. Oh, thank God for Zach's 94 and Brandon's 85 to put it up in the B tier. Okay, gentlemen, we have 8 logos left. We're coming down to the nitty gritty here. We now look at the Miami Heat and you can see the full logo with the Miami Heat and everything in there. We now start with Mark Leota for this one.
Yeah, I don't think that they've changed this logo at all ever since it came out.
Yeah.
Although it almost kind of feels like a lot of heat right now with the way the weather's been up here the last few days.
That's right. It's been hot down here too, even for September. You're right about that. Miami's still probably in the high 90s.
All right. Well, I'm going to give that one a 99.
99 for Mark Leota. Wow. All right, Brandon, you're up. And he's trying to hold back something now.
Yeah, sure have to laugh about something.
Oh.
What is on your mind, Mr. Bogard?
I'm glad that the yellow parts are showing the heat.
The heat, right? The flame on top of right? And then it kind of turns red as it's going through the loop or the hoop. You're right. Yeah.
Well, almost. But the first thing looking at this,
Yeah.
my dirty mind thought that it would.
He's gonna lose it, folks.
Do I even need to say what it looked like?
If you don't mind sharing it with the audience, this will be great because it's all live and we've got one person watching. So whatever you got to say, my friend, spill it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, here we go.
Okay.
Oh my god, this is so embarrassing to say it.
Well,
It looks like one testicle.
What?
Mixed with-
Literal fuck.
well, there you have it, folks. It just came right out of the man's mouth. And he couldn't hold back once he said testicle.
Oh.
Go on now, critique wise. You know, do you need a glass of water? Do you need a break?
You need a brief?
I can do this. I can do this.
Okay.
All right.
Right.
I'm gonna give it 66.
66 after all of that. I thought he was going with at least an 85, and he shocks the heck out of all of us and goes 66.
Still, I give it a 66 because unfortunately, even though the yellow showed the flames,
Yeah.
it still looks like one testicle
On fire.
combined with one broken. I'm gonna leave it at that.
All right. Zach, you're up, my friend.
Looks like a woman's breast is on fire.
I was going to say that. He took the words right out of my mouth. One booby on fire.
Yeah, that's right.
Wooby booby. All right.
I'm gonna rate this 100.
100 for. Wow. That's the second 100 of the night, folks. Well, what a difference of opinion amongst the three of you. And thanks for the critique there, Mr. Bogart. Pretty good. Miami Heat. I don't like them at all. Even though I'm living in Florida now 28 years, I am not from Miami. I can honestly say and agree with Mark that this logo has remained unchanged for the time that they've been there. I think there was more heat coming out of the flame in the first time I've seen it. You know, that they might have shortened the flame a little bit. Kind of looks like a tadpole that just came right out of the water and said, "Spark me, baby." You know?
Yeah.
You went for a barbecued tadpole? That's exactly what it looks like. If a ball on fire looks like that after it goes through a hula hoop, see, again, I wish they would put some netting around this in the background here to indicate that it was a net. It looks like the thing's going through a hula hoop, you know? And that's all it's doing. It's a hula basketball. That's it. Me personally, I'm going to say 63. And that's just, it looks like sperm entering. Oh, my God. But I give it a 63, and that's the end of that. And we have a grand total of 328. We divide that by 4. We get a grand total of 82, and it becomes a B. Oh! So with Zach's big 100, otherwise the rest of us would have had it down at least a C, maybe a possible D. But because of Zach's wonderful saying of the logo, gives it 100. Yep. All right, gentlemen. Next up is Chicago, the Chicago Bulls. And you see the full logo and the bull. And this time we go to Zach.
This is a very simple logo. Everybody knows about this logo. Also, you know, the Michael Jordan.
Yep.
Scottie Pippen. It's very, and the bull is very angry. Like, okay, you mess with me, you're gonna get the horns. No pun intended.
Right. Yep.
100.
100 again for Zach, and he is on a tear. Okay, Mark Leota.
All right. Yeah, definitely very simple. I don't think they've ever changed this logo at all. I mean, it's perfect.
Yeah.
So perfect that it gets my first 100 of the night.
And another 100 for
Mark, good job.
Mark Leota gets another 100. Okay, are we going for another 100 here, Mr. Bogart, or do we have different of opinions about
Almost.
Uh-huh.
I do like it. Is a very simple bull.
Yep.
And that bull looks like bring it on.
Right, yep.
And the fonts with the logo, it looks pretty nice. Looks pretty sweet.
Yep.
So I'll at the same time it does look a bit cartoony-ish.
Yeah, well, you know.
So 86.
86. He's gone down a little bit there. All right. Well, you know, as much as I can't stand the Bulls, even when Jordan was on the team, and I can't stand him today because I don't know who the hell's on the Bulls either way. As far as the logo is concerned, man, you can't get any more vintage than this. This is the original logo from day one. I don't think they've changed it, and I don't think Chicago would ever change it, and I don't think their fans would ever allow them to change it. The red, and you've seen their court. They've got a red court with wood and the reds and the borders and everything. They wear their red jerseys when they're away. They wear the white and the red. So everything about this is spot on. And like I said, if we were going team wise, I'd give it an F in a way. But since we're looking at it from an artistic point, and this is logos, 98. 98. Not a clean 100 for me because I still have a little bit of hatred toward it, but still 98 and still an A. 384 divided by 4 gives it 96, and there's our fourth A of the night, folks.
Nice job.
I had a feeling that the Chicago Bulls was going to be in an A tier because you just can't get any more vintage than that, you know?
Exactly.
All right, we are now up to the Brooklyn Nets, and here's the story behind the Brooklyn Nets. Gentlemen, this is not the original logo. Okay, I'll tell you that right now. The original logo had a circle with the NETS with the red, white, and blue. Okay. This was when they were still in New Jersey at the time. They started in Jersey. They were actually they were the New York Nets in the 70s, but they didn't move to Jersey until the 79-80 season, and they stayed in Jersey until 2012. Then they moved to Brooklyn. So now we are looking at their current logo. They play at the Barclays Center, which is in Manhattan. It's not that far from Madison Square Garden. And ever since they've gone to Brooklyn, they've gotten a little bit better, but still, we're talking about the logo. And this time we'll start with Brandon Bogart.
So there was different logos before this.
Correct. This is not the current. This is not the current. This is the current logo, but not the original logo. No.
To me, it should have been. I'm getting vintage vibes with this one. It seems very classic. I like that diamond shape.
Yeah,
or the diamond shape.
The shield. It looks like a shield. Yeah.
Oh, shield shape. Okay.
Yeah, but that you're still you're.
And the logo on the back, logo on the bottom. Sorry, Brooklyn. Actually, seems very classical.
Okay.
Won me over, Brooklyn. 98.
98 for Brandon Bogart. All right. Now we go to Zach for his take on this one.
Well, to me, I get two perspectives. The first one be like a police station, and the ball's going to jail, and
right.
You got to tell the B, right? And another one be like a construction perspective, like he's wearing a hard hat and he's got a B and he's building something.
Yep.
I'm going to rate this 93.
93 for Zach the artist. And now Mark Leota, who's kind of falling asleep on us a little bit. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. What would you like to say about the Brooklyn Nets? And this particular logo, which I explained that it's not the
it's a pretty solid logo. I will say 87.
87. Okay. All right. So this is the team that I'm following. And I followed this team for 30 years, since 1990 when they were still in New Jersey. Okay. Great team. Fun to watch. Struggling a little bit this year. We'll see what happens in the new year. Team-wise, great. Logo-wise, when they moved from New Jersey to Brooklyn in 2012, when I saw this logo, I fell in love with it. It has everything classic, even though it's an updated logo. I love the black with the white panda colors, my favorite bear. And their court does look like this, the B. They have the big B in the center of the court with the stripes, with those stripes of the basketball. So the court is very classic, but by today's standards, the people of Brooklyn are very happy with their team. And I'll tell you what, when the Knicks and the Nets play each other, since they're not that far, you got a mix of Knicks and Nets fans going at it. Okay, because it's like the Mets and the Yankees, same kind of thing. So the Brooklyn Nets fans don't have to worry about going back to New Jersey to see their team. They know that they're close by in Brooklyn. So all those people who used to go to New Jersey now come back this way. 100, because you can't get any better than this. And even if this wasn't my team, I would say that this logo really just speaks hardwood classic for today's standards. 100, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. All right, 378, and we divide that by 4 for a grand total of 94.5,
Ooh.
and that is our 5th A of the night. Wow, we've got 2 A's in a row. Okay, we go now to the Oklahoma City Thunder. And as you can see with this logo, everything is intact. You have the OKC. And this time we'll start with Zach.
All right. For starters, I get like a Japanese bullet train vibes. I'm gonna say, and it's very simple too. Like it's just to the point, and your eyes are like looking at the OKC.
Yeah.
I'm gonna rate this 92.
92. Okay, Mark, you're up on deck.
Okay. Let's see. Oklahoma City Thunder, formerly the Seattle Sonics.
That's right. So this is not the old logo, but this is the newer logo. Yes. We got an NBA guy here, so that's good. You're right.
All right. Let's see. This logo kind of looks like it's kind of saying, "Oh, you're not careful, Pikachu's Thunderbolt's gonna zap you." I mean, the name like the Thunder, that works. I can make that reference.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give the logo a 90.
90. All right. Brandon Bogard, you're up.
Well, I do think this does represent a basketball very well.
Mm-hmm.
With a name like Thunder, I don't understand. I don't get it. That doesn't speak thunder.
Okay.
Not because like if it was thunder, like I would picture like clouds or some kind of lightning storm or something. This is just showing some kind of plain shield. I'm just gonna give it a 58.
58. What a difference.
Ooh.
Oh boy. Okay, so let's see. I'm up, huh? Well, I do know the Thunder very well. I don't really like the team. And if I was to say that this OKC, when I think of Oklahoma City, I don't think of Thunder. I don't think of that kind of. I think of something else, But what's pertaining to Oklahoma City that would get everybody involved with it? I think they need to change their name. As far as the outlook of the logo itself, it's just like you said, Brandon. It just doesn't flow with what it's got. So in this case, as much as I've seen the team play and everything, but we're not basing it on what the team has done. We're looking at the logo. I'm going to say 65. So we have a grand total of 305. We divide that by 4 for a grand total of 76.25. Stays in the C tier. All right, 4 logos left. We're getting close. Golden State Warriors. And we're going to put it over here this time so everybody can see it, so Zach can see it. We got a lot of blue going on in this logo here. Golden State is in California, as you know. You have the Golden Gate Bridge. But let's start it off with Mark Leota this time.
Okay. Well, definitely you get a nice look of California with that bridge there.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do 83 for that one.
83. All right. Mr. Bogard, you're up next.
Well, it is true. There is a bit of gold. I just wish that the bridge at the very center, I wasn't off to the side a little bit. It's more off to the side than side and not pretty centered. I wish they could probably like, change it to make it a little more centered. So, 77.
77. Okay, Zach, you're up.
To me, I think it's deceiving because there's no warrior. They should like change it to like have a warrior instead of the bridge. 72.
72. Okay. And yeah, I agree with you guys. This is not the original logo. I can tell you that right now. The original logo had the state of California on it with more golden in it and a lot less blue. I don't know if there was a warrior on there, but it did have the shape of California for the Golden State Warriors. And so this is very modern to today's fans. Most fans would recognize this logo before they ever saw the one in the 80s or the early 90s. I don't like the blue at all. And the Golden Gate Bridge is not golden. It's named the Golden Gate Bridge, but it's not made of gold. It's looks like it's a rusty color, but they had to kind of sporadically put the Golden Gate Bridge in there and make it golden, for the Warriors. But you're right, Brandon. There is no warrior there to represent the Warriors. It's just lacking a lot of things that it's not what it is. They're focusing more on the Golden Gate Bridge, and again, the blue just overtakes everything. So in this case, I'm going to say 57. I give it an F, actually. I don't really like that logo at all. 289 divided by 4 for a grand total of 72.25. It actually gets a C, gentlemen. Wow. Oh, my. So we come to the conclusion that the B's and the C's on the average logos is interesting. We're down to the final 3 here, where we go to David St. Dennis's favorite team, the Boston Celtics. But then again, who knows who else? Yeah, who else has this? And we will start off with Brandon Bogard with this one.
So I like the green border.
Right.
The dude in the center.
Yep, the leprechaun.
The leprechaun, yeah. Or the Celtic, the Celtic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy's face is really just from this viewpoint, unless it was kind of bigger.
Yeah.
For now, this looks very creepy.
From your lips to God's ears, Brandon. Yep.
And it's like, hey, I got this cotton candy here.
My finger, and it's a basketball. I got cotton candy in the shape of a basketball. Yeah. And a cane. Yeah. And I'm an old with a gut.
At the same time, I do have another friend in here. Oh no, I'm not bringing him out right now, but I do have another friend here who will make his appearance on one of my premiere episode of the Pulp Show that kind of looks a little similar. So just to be fair, 73.
73 for Brandon Bogard. And now to Zach. This one, Zach, it kind of makes you wonder about it, right?
Yeah, it's a like a staple logo. Everybody knows about it.
Yep.
It's famous logo. And from the face, it kind of looks like Quagmire from Family Guy. Like, all right, giggy, giggity.
Giggity, giggity. Yeah. And here comes our CEO because he knows now we're talking about his team.
All right, I'm going to rate this 100.
Are you rating it 100 because he just came in? Or
No.
you just artistically have seen something?
Yeah.
100 for Zach, the artist. And now we go to Mark Leota for his take on the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, another classic logo.
Yep.
Yeah.
This guy David comes on camera. Looks like he's staring into you, man. Giving you the evil eye,
I'm just
don't really have much
just
to
like,
say about this one. 100.
Yes.
no,
100.
I'm just like
Your influence is too much on this.
Celtics a D. What?
No, it's not a permanent D. I'm just putting it here just to
Yeah.
Oh,
you can see it because I can't put
Okay.
him in the center, so I have to kind of put him off to to show everybody so Zach can see. All right,
oh, okay.
because my boss has decided to show up, and I got to be nice. Let me just put it to you this way: the Celtics, are a great team. Hate them with a passion because of what they've done to the Brooklyn Nets all the time. But if we're talking about this logo, we're talking about a classic vintage logo that's been around since Larry Bird. For crying out loud.
Oh yeah.
Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, those guys that were playing up against Magic Johnson, because now the Lakers will be up on the next tier. Boston
Yep.
Celtics, I mean, if they don't change this, which I don't see why they're not going to change it, the people of Boston will be like, if you change it, we're going to move somewhere else. This has everything going for itself. And I hate to say it, Mr. Dennis, but you got yourself another 100. You got to know yourself another 100. 373 divided by 4, 93.25.
Yeah.
Celtics
Thank you.
go to the A tier. Would you believe that?
Yay.
Another fun fact: I almost gave up on following the NBA completely, like after the 2018 playoffs, because of what LeBron kept doing to the Raptors
Right.
in the playoffs.
So just as you know, and I want to give a disclaimer here, the only reason why these guys voted 100 was because David came in and decided to give him the evil eye. No.
Wow.
It's like, okay, all right. LA
Separate.
Lakers are up next, gentlemen, and this is the one that I think everybody was waiting for. And this time we'll start with Zach the Artist.
This is a very retro logo, a very common logo. And the basketball, you always, look at it and I like the swoop effect it has. I'm gonna rate this 100.
100 for Zach the Artist. Okay, we go to Mark Leota now for his look at the LA Lakers.
Another basic logo there that hasn't really ever changed, nor does it need to be changed.
Right?
Perfect 100.
Another 100 for Mark Leota. And now we go to Brandon Bogard for his take on the LA Lakers.
This is retro, vintage, classical, modern. Every single one of these, even the fonts for the logo are perfectly in place. So I'm with you guys. The full 100.
Yep.
Another 100. And wouldn't you know it, it comes down to me. As much as I cannot stand the Lakers and cannot stand LeBron James, this is classic. This is vintage. So we're talking Magic Johnson. We're talking about Vlade Divac and those guys.
Kobe Bryant.
Yep. That's it.
Kobe Bryant, yes, but we're talking Magic Johnson. All right, we're talking the guy who basically carried that team against the Celtics. We're talking the 80s matchup before the Bulls ever had a chance with Michael Jordan. The Lakers were the team to beat back in those days. This logo proves that once again, you do not change anything about it. I give it 100, and we got a clean sweep. Look at that. We don't even have to average it out. It goes into the A tier. Everybody agrees, and we don't even have to worry about that.
Kind of explains why maybe some of those very early NBA Live games in like the early 90s was simply called Lakers versus Celtics.
That's right.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Exactly.
Those games. Yeah.
Yep. Or the late 80s. Yeah, because of the Bird versus Johnson. Yep. Okay, we have one more logo, and this is the Orlando Magic. And technically, this is where I live. I live close to Orlando, but I can tell you right now, I can't stand the team. And, well, I just, I just don't like the Magic in general. But I've been down here for 8 years, so that has really nothing to do with it. So I randomly picked somebody now, and we'll start it off with Mark Leota to wrap this up. Final team, Orlando Magic.
Well, actually, fun fact, I think the only Raptors playoff game I've ever been to, which was 2008, which was against the Orlando Magic.
Okay,
Fair
enough.
Let's see. Kind of looks like the ball's about to disappear underneath the word magic there. Hence the
Oh
name.
yeah.
Yep.
Let's say 88.
88 from Mark Leota. Okay, Brandon Bogard, what do you have to say about the Orlando Magic?
But
What was that?
I think someone's having a phone call or something.
Oh, okay.
Done.
So while I appreciate that the logo is trying to circle shape itself,
Uh-huh.
and that's pretty creative. As far as the the ball logo itself, by having only 3 sparkles and just a little swoosh, I'm a bit disappointed.
Uh-huh.
I gotta give it 61.
61 for Brandon Bogard. An interesting concept of difference of opinion. And now we go to Zach the artist, who sees a lot of blue in this one. Very
Yeah.
little black and a lot of white background. So take it away, my friend.
Yeah, with the blue and the ball looks like it's doing it's like he's having the ball's like having a spell on you, or it's mesmerizing.
Uh-huh.
Thank you. I'm gonna say 85.
85. Okay, still giving it a B. Okay, so being down here in Florida for 28 years and living close to Orlando, about maybe a half an hour, everybody thought I was a Magic fan, and that's not true. And then I'm like, they say, but you're supposed to be a Magic fan. No, just because I moved down from New York to live here does not make me a Magic fan. Doesn't make me a Tampa Bay Lightning fan. Doesn't make me a Buccaneers fan. I'm still a New York fan with the New York teams and will be for life because that's just the way it is. Now, if you wanted me to graphically look at this from an artistic point of view, I like the colors. I like the blue. There is a little bit of gray in the ball on this side right here. It's more of a grayish than white, Zach. So just wanted to clear. I should have cleared that up before. I'm sorry about that. But this part right here. So their colors are blue and gray, and they did wear black for a little while at one time on the road when Shaq was playing. But they mainly stayed with the colors of blue and white for most of their time. This is a newer logo. So yeah, they've gotten rid of some of their stars on this basketball. There used to be more stars, and they used to have a more of a come at you logo. This is more recent. They've really toned it down a lot, and I'm just kind of disappointed with it. I thought the original Magic logo was pretty good, but this one kind of says yeah. But of course, you know why they're called the Orlando Magic, right? They're named after the Magic Kingdom in Disney World. That's where they got their nickname, the Magic. So they became the Orlando Magic. I mean, really, what are you gonna do, right?
Yeah.
For me, I'm disappointed with this. If this was the older logo, where you would have seen some more black, you would have seen some more grayish tones, and the blue just overtakes it, I give this a 70. All right, 304 divided by 4 for a grand total of 76, and it goes into the C tier. And there you have it, gentlemen. All 30 NBA teams and the logos. You'll all get a copy of this, of course. We'll save it, and we'll put it in. We'll put this in as what should we title it? Anybody want to?
NBA logos.
Yep, I was just gonna say that.
Simple
Thanks,
NBA
David.
logos.
NBA team logos.
Team
Yeah,
logos.
that could work.
Here we go. And we will put on here the date of 9/6/2023, and we will save it. And when I get the saving, I'll go ahead and definitely I'll send it out to you guys via instant message. Okay.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and stop sharing that and get back to our regular screen here. And I want to thank all of you for joining me on this first show. It was a great show. Did you enjoy it? I know we had a lot in the private.
Yeah, this was fun.
Yeah,
We have
I liked it.
14 comments. Wow. And here, let's go through the comments because definitely Tom Willis was in here. He says, "What's up, guys?" And Celtics logo A tier, so he called that one. And he said everyone else is F.
Yeah, we only had one or two Fs or something.
Oh, we only had one, and that was
Yep.
San Antonio Spurs. Washington Wizards, I would give that one a G.
There's no G rating.
Is there even a Washington Wizard?
Yeah, Washington Wizards was the. Remember, I told
Although
you
there is
Yeah.
a G League, so
there's a D League actually.
oh, D League, okay.
He gave it an F sharp. It looks like. I think it's missing a leprechaun. He's talking about the
Oh.
and it's not green. Although definitely Atlanta definitely gets an F. Wow.
Okay,
It's missing the words Boston. And then David said, I agree with Tom, but every team but Boston is an F.
you would say that, David.
Cypress said Cleveland is an F.
Hey, Mark, go say I'm not having pizza right now.
And Danny Lewis says McNuggets are scrumptious. You guys are funny. Well, I tell you, we've had a ball here on the show, and
Pun
we're gonna,
intended.
yeah, we're gonna call it a night because we can. And next week on the program, I don't know if you guys want to come back next week. You're more than welcome to it. I know hopefully David will participate this time now that he knows what the format's about. But you're more than welcome to. Let me know a week ahead of time. And if not, if anybody new wants to come on the show, we can have up to 10 people in this room here. So if it averages out to 10, this is going to be a 3-hour program. You know, it just goes a little bit longer when you got more people. It's kind of like when you're playing cards. The cards, you know, they
Yeah.
a little bit better, you know. So that's that, as they say.
Oh.
Gentlemen, yeah, we're all good to go here. And I'm Jason DeCanio, telling you always to be honest, be real, keep it simple, stupid. Kiss. See you next week as we talk about NHL logos. That's going to be next week.
Ooh, that sounds more up my alley.
Bulldog's coming back for that one. He's already excited about it. We'll see what happens with all of that. Have a great night, everybody. Bye-bye.
Yes,